This is the current Vice President of Ghana. He is Bawumia. And this is the immediate past President of Ghana, and he is Mahama. Both are the leaders of the two main political parties in Ghana. The Vice President wants to continue as President after the current sitting President. And this ex-President wants to return to the seat, ladies and gentlemen. Before this ex-President became President, he was a Vice President and was known as a communications expert. This current Vice President, on the other hand, was introduced to us as an economic wizard. This man eventually became president because the then president died in office. Now, let's do some serious comparisons here. Both are running for president in December this year, and both are busily touring the country selling their ideas, because in Ghana, ladies and gentlemen, there is no national policy for development except for the political parties' manifestos. The people of this country have seen the works of this man before, from 2012 to 2016, when he was the president of Ghana, and many people didn't want him to continue after his first term in office. Some of the reasons many people voted against him was because there were too many allegations of corruption and corruption scandals. And on top of that, in that 4 years of his presidency, Ghana was literally blacked out, ladies and gentlemen. Power rationing became a real thing. Everyday lights were taken off for 4 years, which affected everything in the country, including my business. However, he managed to finally provide a solution to the problem, but only at the latter stage when the damage was already caused. So in my personal view, he wasn't someone who was proactive enough towards problem solving. And this is a country that's full of problems. Now, this vice president was the only vice president whose voice was familiar to the people, because he held several town meetings, engaging student bodies as a running mate in an opposition party and civil society groups to break down the problems Ghana had and the solutions Ghana needed. He appeared smart and young and ready for action, and many people, including myself, fell in love with him because we were promised he will turn Ghana's economy around. However, he's been the vice president of our country for nearly 8 years, and he is the head of the economic management team, meaning he oversees all the economic policies and its implementations in our country, which he rightfully deserved due to how well he articulated solutions to our problems. But instead of all that wonderful lectures he gave on the solutions translating into action and improving the economy of this country, it has rather become worse, and he is now full of excuses after excuses. Ladies and gentlemen, today Ghana's economy is worse than the country's economy at any point in time in the history of our nation. There has never been a time when Ghana has been this poorly run. Yet, this vice president wants us to believe he cannot do much because he is only vice president. And this former president wants us to also believe he has now figured out how to propel Ghana's economy. Ladies and gentlemen, our country is sinking, for your information. I'm talking about inflation. I'm talking about lack of accountability and leadership from our political appointees. I'm talking about unfulfilled promises, our national debt, unemployment rate, corruption, and wastage of our resources. I'm talking about how many companies are leaving Ghana to other West African companies, and how difficult it is to live in Ghana for the ordinary person in this era. I don't know about you, ladies and gentlemen, on the issues of who to trust in this election, but I will not give up on at least pushing to have a more reasonable leadership in place until we break this shackle of this duopoly off our necks. I am hereby throwing this invite to any top representatives of any of these two main political parties to our studio interview on policies. Bear that in mind. Call us at Tuntum Network and let's set the date if you are interested. But keep this in mind. It will not be business as usual like you do on other media platforms. We'll wait.